Well, Vincent, Sir Alex Ferguson is stepping down at Manchester United after a long and very successful period in charge. Is this one of the few instances where the most important person in an organisation is not the chief executive?
It is, absolutely. Ferguson is by far the most important person at Manchester United and has been for a long time. Not only is he more important than the CEO, he's more important than the owners. I mean, let's face it. And he's been the sort of embodiment of the club for a long time. He's going to be a very, very hard act to follow.
So what then does this mean for the owners of the Glazer family and also those who bought the shares that are listed in New York?
Well, I think that this question of what is known in the jargon as key man risk has been hanging over Manchester United for a long time. I mean, it was obvious that Ferguson was going to have to leave at some point. As he turned 70 last year, he's 71 now, when he turned 70, it became clearly a question of when rather than, if. And I think that what has happened now is that the inevitable has just been brought forward for whatever reason. I mean, he's having a hip replaced. The club has had a reasonably successful season, but not a great one. And I think that it's probably a good time for him to leave. But it does crystallise this question of key man risk that tends to associate itself with institutions or companies where one individual is dominant. That's definitely the case in Manchester United.
What then does that mean for whoever it is comes in next, takes on this very key position in the club? What are the challenges there, aside from those on the footballing field?
Well, I think that, you have to understand the nature of football. I mean, this is not a traditional industry. This is a sport. It's it's associated with illusions and delusions as well as so I think you have to bear that in mind when you consider what it is that one expects out of companies like this, whether as an investor or as a fan. I think that investors bought into Manchester United's initial public offering last year as fans, not as people expecting to make lots of money, even though actually they are making money at the moment because the shares are up 30% since the listing. But that's neither here nor there in the scheme of things, because the Glazer still own 90% of the company. But it's football, and I think that every manager has to start from scratch. And I think Ferguson's successor will have to do the same thing.
Obviously a very tough job ahead for whoever it is takes over, and probably no reduction in that key man risk at Manchester United. Vincent, thank you very much.